Welcome to this edition of Access Together. These shows are made possible through the combined efforts of Shelby County Schools and GHS-TV. The shows are hosted by the members of the community and utilize the staff and facilities of Germantown High School. If you would like to watch our live stream or get more information about these shows, log on to our website, ghstv.org. Thank you, and we hope you enjoy the following presentation.
Welcome to Inspiring Leaders. I'm Donna Chandler Newman, your host for our show, and thank you for watching our program. Through this show, we meet community leaders and we examine how they're using their unique talents and their skill sets to make a difference. And through our discussions, we hope to inspire others to discover and to share their own leadership abilities for the overall betterment of our community. Now, today on our show, we're privileged to host Junior Achievement, an organization committed to helping prepare our youth for their successful future through inspiration and education. In our first segment, we'll meet Larry Colbert, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of Memphis in the Mid-South, and we'll talk with him about the organization's mission and the very positive impact Junior Achievement has on our community. In our second segment, we'll be joined by Skip Betts, a Junior Achievement volunteer, and he'll tell us about his involvement with JA, as well as how you can get involved with this outstanding organization. Joining us now is Larry Colbert, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of Memphis and the Mid-South. Welcome, Larry.
Well, thank you, Donna. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy that you're here today.
Happy to be here.
Well, let's start right at it. Tell me this. Junior Achievement has a long, long history.
It does.
Tell me a little bit about the history and tell me about how you got involved with Junior Achievement.
Okay, well, a little bit about the history. I think some people would be surprised at how far back Junior Achievement goes and how long they've been in existence. It actually started in 1919.
Wow.
Junior Achievement was simply an organization that, some business people got together and wanted to have a location to take young people after school so they wouldn't be out on the street. They would rent a warehouse, a distribution center or something so these kids could come together, and they were teaching these kids how to open their own business. Well, obviously over the years, the organization has evolved. When you look in the 1980s, it went from just a high school program to a program where economics is taught to kids from kindergarten through 12th grade. Here in Memphis in the Mid-South, our organization has been around since 1955.
Really?
Also a very long time for a nonprofit organization and what we do. And as far as me personally, it's kind of interesting. I've got almost a 30-year history with JA here in Memphis. And that's not even counting when I was a JA kid, also growing up in Atlanta, and had a Junior Achievement volunteer to come in and teach us how to create a product and sell that product and liquidate our company. So I've been with the organization now for 20 years a month ago. When I came on board in 1996 after a 20-year career in retail with Target stores, it was simply a phone call saying, Larry, we need your help. Because I'd been a volunteer, and I think I shared this with you off air. It was a 90-day assignment. Come in and help us out for 90 days. We got to get this bowl-a-thon going. We need somebody to lead this for us. And obviously that 90 days turned into 20 years.
Well, lucky for both of you, huh?
Well, I feel very lucky and very fortunate, and it's just something that I'm absolutely passionate about and believe in as an organization and what we're trying to do when it comes to educating our young people about economics, entrepreneurship, work readiness, and more than anything else, financial literacy. I don't think there's anything more important, Donna, than all of our young people understanding how important it is to be financially literate.
I think you're exactly right. In our neck of the woods here, that's especially important. So that's pretty much the mission in a nutshell. But you guys go about achieving that mission in a variety of ways, way past what it was when I was involved with Junior Achievement.
We
talk about the different ways.
And talk about that mission a little bit. Is the goal is to empower every student to own their economic success, them to own it.
Yes.
They can decide what they want to do, whether that is starting and opening up their own business, or going on to school and joining the corporate world, at least they can make those decisions by having more knowledge than they would have had before participating in a junior achievement program. So how we go about that is we're a volunteer organization, strictly volunteers. We're not a United Way organization, even though we can receive United Way funds, obviously being a 501c3. But we accomplish our mission by recruiting those volunteers, training those volunteers to go into teaching the in-school program at every grade level, all age appropriate, kindergarten through 12th grade. And we do this through instructional manuals and books like you see here. That happens to be our second grade kit, which I'm really fond of. When I was a volunteer in the classroom for 9 years, that was my specialty, teaching the second grade program.
Really?
And if you continue to teach the same program, I didn't have to relearn anything, so I kind of enjoyed that. But we do that through volunteerism. Recruit, we work with all the school systems, and people ask me a lot, what school systems do you work with? We work with every school system. If you have us, we want to come in and help you do what you're already attempting to do, and that's educate our young people.
I see,
Yeah.
I see. Well, okay, so if I decided to be a volunteer, you'd give me this kind of kit.
Absolutely.
I don't have to make up the lesson plans.
You will make them know. The unique thing about JA is we have everything done for you. You give us a little bit of your time, and you'll probably hear that later in the next segment with one of our volunteers. But we take care of everything for you. We make the alignment, the touches with the schools and the teachers. If you have a desire for a specific school that you want to go to, we can go from there. And if not, if you just want to give your time and volunteer, we've got schools all over the Mid-South. Our programs are in high demand. We just need those volunteers that can go in and make those deliverables.
I'm sure that's true. Well, okay, so this in-school classroom experience is the one that I'm used to, but that's
correct.
not the only way you give
No.
JA now.
No.
Talk about how
No,
else.
well, you know, we're fond of saying we've got another program now that we started here in Memphis in the Mid-South back in 2002. At the time we opened up this second program, the program is called Capstone. Capstone Program is simply that kids learning better by doing.
Right.
That we can teach them sitting in that classroom all day long, but if they're going to retain all of those things that you've been trying to impose upon them, allow them to get up and act those things out. Well, that's what Capstone is. So we open up a Capstone program called Exchange City. It's a miniature city with 15 different businesses housed at our headquarters in downtown Memphis, 307 Madison Avenue, heavily supported by the corporate community here. We changed the name to JA BizTown back in 2008, and now it's a corporate-owned, program. Everything is curriculum-based. This is a 4th, 5th, and 6th grade program where you're teaching kids at a very early age how important it is to know how a city works, how a business works, why it's important to have your own checkbook, and how to manage a checkbook and not going out and using a credit card and writing checks when you don't have money in the bank and all of those things. And what makes this program so unique, if you look at our community, Donna, we have a large segment of the kids right here in our own community, especially in the inner city environment, where 60+% of our kids have no banking relationship within their household. So for a lot of these kids, for the very first time, they're understanding why banking is important and it is of some value to them.
Okay, so I'm a 4th, 5th, or 6th grader. Tell me about my first day at BizTown. What happens?
Well, first of all, even before your first day, you got 5 weeks of prep.
Okay.
Because it's all curriculum based. And it's the entire 5th grade class. So it's not some kids can and some can't. It's the entire 5th grade class. They're prepping, and every week they're learning a little something about business and economics and communities. Then, and they have to complete a resume. They go through a job interview process, and then they're placed in those jobs, one of those 15 different businesses. There's also a city government, and there's an election that's held where there's a mayor, there's a city attorney, there's a police department, and the police are enforcing laws of the city. Now you're trying to envision this and say how all of that works. Well, it does. It works, and the kids get pretty excited about it. So when they show up on the first day, they already know which businesses they will be working in, what job they will have. Oh, by the way, we have a full-scale broadcast center, you know,
wow.
an iHeartMedia broadcast center. And you know what the #1 requested job is in the entire city when they're going through the interviews?
What is it?
What is it? They all want to be the disc jockey. You know, you would think, hey, I want to be mayor, or I want to be the president of the First Tennessee Bank, but the #1 requested job is they want to be the disc jockey.
That's pretty funny.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
But you know what? They're making their choices. And
They're making their choices.
And the important part about that is 4th, 5th, and 6th grade.
Yeah.
So at an early age.
At an early age.
You're
You know, we
teaching this.
underestimate, Donna, and these are educational studies that have been done for years on what age group do kids decide what they want to do for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
And the 5th grade level is that point just after, you know, grade school, before middle school, and kids are already deciding, this is what I want to do, okay? You catch them at that point, and you can help guide them for the rest of their lives. You can have an impact on it. And you catch them early, because when you're trying to change the direction of young people once they reach high school, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, quite honestly, it's too late.
Yeah.
Catch them early.
Yeah.
And help them get that direction.
All right. Now this is an amazingly thorough program,
Yes,
but I
it
know
is.
it's not inexpensive.
No, it
You tell me about how you make your money, and particularly about your sponsors.
Well, you know, we're very, very fortunate and blessed in our organization. We've got a beautiful building downtown. Unfortunately, the building is not yet paid for, and that's something I work on a daily basis, trying to, you know, get rid of that mortgage overhead. But all of our funding is through contributions from individuals, partnerships with different companies here in town, both small, mid-size, and large-size companies, the FedExes, the IPs, the AutoZones of the world, are all partners with us. And we're very privileged to have that partnership. But the individual contributions play a very large role for us because, again, as I said earlier, we're not a United Way agency.
Right.
So we do that through those individual gifts, and we have special events. And the special events help us, you know, raise dollars to keep the doors open and allow us to continue to deliver these programs in all the schools. Our #1 special event of the year comes at the end of February. It's our annual Bowl-a-thon. I think most Memphians and Shelby Countyans who've been around for a while, they've heard about the Junior Achievement Bowl-a-thon.
Right.
We have a Chick-fil-A 5K sponsored by the good folks at Chick-fil-A. It's a
Yes.
Labor Day event. We keep it on the holiday just so everybody can remember, you know, when it'll take place.
That's
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
And then you have a second smaller bowl-a-thon
We have a
as well.
smaller bowl-a-thon. Yeah, good point.
All right.
That we created some years ago to help catch the accounting firms and the tax firms. They're so busy in February.
Yeah.
So this event takes place the first Friday after the filing deadline of October 15th every year. It's an afternoon event, a chance for everybody to come out, have a good time Friday afternoon, raise funds for Jay, and just go, whew, tax season's over.
It's a wonderful relief for all of them, and
Yes, it
wonderful
is.
for y'all too.
Yes, it is.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, we're about to meet one of your volunteers in a minute, and I
Yes.
can't wait to hear his story.
Oh,
So
yeah.
will you stay with me?
I would love to.
Thank
would
you.
love being around this guy.
Thank you. Thanks
you.
so much. We're going to pause now for a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by Skip Betts, Junior Achievement Volunteer.
Welcome to Germantown High School, an international baccalaureate creative and performing arts optional school, a destination school for students who are going places.
Our students are of the highest caliber when it comes to their academics and knowledge.
The IB program is a very rigorous program.
You were challenged in a way that you thought you couldn't be challenged. You succeeded, something that other kids may not have thought they could do.
They're accepted to colleges that are just, dream colleges for so many people.
Germantown High School offers a CAPA program, the Creative and Performing Arts program.
When I first came here, I saw the television studio and I was just amazed at what all I saw.
Kids do everything, that they're taught every detail that has to do with theater arts and creative arts.
I love a lot of things about Germantown High School, but primarily what I love is the athletics. There's something exciting around every single corner.
We probably are one of the most diverse high schools in the state of Tennessee, maybe the United States.
I would never doubt about sending your child to Germantown High School.
This high school is something not like any other high school that we have.
There's definitely fun in the work. We find fun in everything we do.
You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Welcome back. I'm Donna Chandler Newman, and you are watching Inspiring Leaders. Today we're talking about the fine work of junior achievement. We're so pleased that Larry Colbert, President and CEO of Junior Achievement of Memphis and the Mid-South, stays with us and continues his discussion with us. And we're happy and delighted to be joined by Skip Betts, a longtime volunteer for Junior Achievement. Thank you for staying with us, Larry, and welcome, Skip.
Okay, thank you for having me on. I'm pleased to represent Junior Achievement as a volunteer.
I'm so glad. You know, I know that you had an earlier involvement with them in your corporate life. Tell me the story of how you got involved with Junior Achievement.
Well, I tell you, it actually goes back further than that. In the 11th grade, my sister took me to the Junior Achievement Program, which was down in Memphis, Tennessee, and it was an hour and a half worth of sessions once a week, and so it was after class, and it's much different than it is today. But that was my first involvement with Junior Achievement.
Wow, that's what. Okay, so there are about 3,000 nonprofits to be involved with in Memphis and the Mid-South. Why does Junior Achievement deserve your time and your talent and treasure?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very fortunate to have worked with companies such as Holiday Inn and CubeSmart and General Electric, and I've just gained an awful lot of experience, business experience, and I wanted to share that experience. And about 5 years ago, I started thinking, how can I do this? And it just brought back the memory of Junior Achievement and what that program had meant to me. So I called Junior Achievement, told them, expressed an interest in that program, and they invited me down to their business over in Madison. And I went down there and I was just blown away with BizTown and all the other different things. And they showed me what I thought was a program I was going to basically put together myself. And of course, this satchel was presented to me. They went through it. The content was there. The framework of everything was there. The only ingredient that was missing was experience. And I said, and that's what I really wanted to share. So it was easy picking this program up and choosing Junior Achievement.
That is a wonderful story, because I got to tell you, if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, I got to come up with a lesson plan, I got to do that. The fact that they've done this has made it easy for you to volunteer, hasn't it?
Oh, it really is. It's easy, and I think when you walk into a classroom and you sit down with the kids, you know the reason you're there is to empower them to just be successful on their own. I like to deal with the kids who are in high school, especially the seniors, because they're fixed to make a decision to get out into the real world. Yeah. So this program was ideal. And maybe not all the students were actually going to start a business, but this is a great ground to understand the basics of business, and then they can actually take that out to the community where they're either going to go to college or they're going to start their first job. And I think any employer that would look at the resume of a kid and the kid actually shows them the experience that they had with Junior Achievement, it would be to their benefit to select them because the students actually have experience with what is a business and all that constitutes that business, what that concept is.
An appreciation of it, that's true. Okay, so Larry, you couldn't do this without volunteers.
Oh no.
How do you bottle that passion that tell me about volunteers and what they contribute.
Well, first of all, I think I indicated earlier, Donna, we are a volunteer organization.
You did.
So without those volunteers, there is no Junior Achievement. And this type of passion that Skip has, I would love to bottle it and spread it out over the entire community. You know, we're very fortunate in that we've got well over 1,000 volunteers that work with us on and off, throughout the years. But it's very rare to have someone like Skip who is so involved and so committed. I mean, listen, he didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
I think even he drove up for this interview, an hour's drive to get here, and I just made one call and said, would you be interested in this interview? And without hesitation, he said absolutely. So, he's retired now and still giving his time and treasure because he's so passionate, as we are, about educating our young people. The other unique thing about Skip is, you know, he's teaching what we always deem the most difficult of our programs, and that's high school. It's not easy going into a high school class and getting the attention of those young people and having them follow your lead and sharing the experiences that he has. But he's able to do it. They love him. He's been awarded, you know, a few times, a few years ago, you know, because of some of the things that he's done. So yeah, we love Skip. We love all of our volunteers, but this kind of passion is hard to come by.
You know, your volunteers are walking around with a credibility badge too, because they've done and had experience at it, as you were talking about a minute ago. Skip, talk about some of the benefits to the students for the program.
Well, I'll tell you the biggest benefit is someone is going to show them how to take into account all the things that they're learning in school and actually put it into practice. And I believe Larry mentioned that before. We're going to teach them, you know, what business is all about, how to start it, run it, and liquidate that business at the end of the school year. And these kids really get that. And now it says let's start applying it to the real world. And you know, my experience personally, when I go in and I get with a bunch of students, I honestly have no clue what product that they're going to want to you know, create. But there's some point along the program where you just get that feeling as a volunteer that they're really starting to get it. And when that happens, it just takes off. And then as a volunteer, it's just that ability to, you know, kind of control that energy, keep them pointed in the right direction. But it becomes so easy, and it's inspiring because I just love to work with the kids who really get excited about the program, and they're taking a chance to learn something, put it into practice, or at least take it out into the real world when they graduate.
You know, on your Facebook page for Junior Achievement, you guys just put up a Harvard study.
The Harvard Health Study, yeah, on volunteerism.
Yes,
yeah.
And what did it say? It said?
Well, basically, capsulizing this a bit is saying that when you volunteer, you feel good about yourself. And you feel good about yourself is great for your health. It's great for your health to volunteer and give back. You do. You feel good about doing it. And we got lots of people who say they want to volunteer, and you know, it's kind of like saying I'm going to exercise or whatever. You can't find the time. But when you do it, you feel good about doing it. And that's what the Harvard study was saying.
That was a beautiful, I know when I read it, I thought, my gosh, how many retired people can take a look at this? And you know, besides those that work who think they're too busy, but how many retired people as well can join that? So I see clear benefits for the students and for the volunteers. Who else benefits from Junior Achievement?
Go ahead. I was just going to say that from my experience, you know, being that when I was working for the corporations and I would get involved in these types of programs, I was beginning to understand that the best way to learn is to actually teach, you know, and I think employers can look at that and say, you know, they can take their employees, have them get involved in a program like this, and then they start to understand all the small, unique things about business in general, and then take it back to their employer. So I think it's a great benefit to the companies that allow their employees to go out and volunteer.
Oh, that's a great point, Skip. And Don, I have lots of meetings. I'm in companies, corporations all over town on a regular basis. And what I love telling my corporate folks, first of all, your corporation or any company, large or small, is only as good as the community in which they reside.
That's right.
Okay? So you got to have a strong community first before you could be a successful company. So investing in community, which means people, means they have an opportunity to be successful. Those employers that run those employees working in these companies comes from the community. So you need good, strong employees, educated employees for you to have a successful company. And basically what we're able to do through this type of mentorship, role models like Skip, okay? We're educating these young people, making them understand finances, economics, being ready for work, how to prepare to go apply for a job, go in and be a successful employee.
Honestly, that's an inspirational invitation to work alongside of you. If I were at home and inspired right now and wanted to know more about JA, what would I do?
Yeah.
You do need more volunteers.
We need more volunteers. We need more contributions.
Yes.
We have a large segment of this community still not reaping the benefit of what we do. We still have lots of kids out there that need this program, a lot of kids that need this program even more than others who are not reaping the benefit. And that comes from that time and that treasure. So anyone watching want more information on Jay or how to get involved, you can contact our office. The direct line is 901-366-7800. And we have an absolute wonderful website in jamemphis.org.
You do. It's very thorough.
Yes.
And I learned a great deal from it. And I know you guys have just redone it.
We just revamped that whole thing, and very interactive. And I think it speaks to our mission, and it's an easy follow through by going through all the different links to show you the different levels of how you can get involved. So I encourage anybody to visit that.
Tell me about your long-range goals.
Yeah. Well, that's real easy for me because long range for me, and I want to say over the next couple of years, first and foremost, we have a goal of eliminating the mortgage on our building, which, that's a lot of work on our part, just over $1 million eliminating that mortgage so that we can focus more of our time on students and reaching students. The other big goal that we have is to have every kid in Shelby County have the ability to participate in the JA BizTown program. I think that program is so critical, and am I a little biased about it? Absolutely. But I think even kids are learning stuff that they didn't know that they needed to know.
That's powerful.
And if we can get every 5th grade student in Shelby County schools participating in JA BizTown, they're going to be better for it. Our school's going to be better for it. Our community's going to be better for it.
I think you're absolutely right on that. I find that very, very inspirational. And I got to tell you, Skip, I'm so proud of you. How long do you intend to volunteer?
I'm just keeping it going. It really it inspires me. I'm learning a lot every time I do a class. I come out of there inspired. So I'm just going to keep it going.
Well, you've inspired me. So thank you. You both inspired me. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
And thank you for being with us today for Inspiring Leaders. We appreciate our guests on today's show, Larry Colbert and Skip Betts, both with Junior Achievement of Memphis and the Mid-South. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about the very excellent work they do. Now, if you've been inspired like I have and you'd like to donate, get involved, or just know more about Junior Achievement, then please do visit their website, jamemphis.org, jamemphis.org. Thank you once more for watching our show. And if you're interested in the air dates of Inspiring Leaders or for our station's complete programming guide, you can visit GHS-TV.org, where we're streaming live 24 hours a day. You can keep up with GHS-TV by visiting our website. We hope you'll like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Thank you for joining us for today's show, and be sure and watch our show, Inspiring Leaders, again next month.